Yes.
Morning.
Okay, welcome to the Library Commission meeting, May 1st, 2025. Call the meeting to order. Let's establish quorum.
Chair Bedard,
Aye.
Vice Chair Morris,
Aye.
Commissioner Fawcett.
Yeah.
You have a quorum.
We have a quorum. And pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, are there any public comments on items not on the agenda?
No,
Anybody call in?
no.
You cannot help.
Okay, so let's move on to the consent calendar. First, approving the minutes of the regular meeting of March 6th, 2025. Does anyone want to make a motion?
Motion to approve minutes.
I second it. Call roll, please.
Yes. Chair Bedard,
Aye.
Vice Chair Morris.
Aye.
Commissioner Fawcett.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Great. Items for consideration and action. I'd like us to consider the commission work plan. Before we discuss this, are any public comments on the commission work plan at this time? So with that, what I'd like to do is just go through each item. And if we have any comments, I'll start with you, Michelle. On the improvement on that, the first goal, improvements to the main library building. Well, I mean, it goes without saying that we'll be hearing more about that today. And any comments, Michelle, on that item?
I don't think so. We also have a special meeting, right, coming up.
Yes, we do. We do.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more special meetings.
Me too.
And I'm looking forward to seeing the design options. Yeah. But until we do,
Improve services, research new services, programs and events for the library. I guess the sensory headsets evaluation. Is there any update on that or anything new? Are we just as we go?
We can bring that back as another item for one of the meetings in early fall to come back with commission to discuss. I think.
yeah, sounds
Okay.
good.
Rose.
Mhm. Yeah. I saw the signage and everything. It looks very visible. Oh, good. Yeah, that'll be great to discuss how it's going and what are the next steps.
So good progress there. Anything on that, Christine?
On the sensory headset, oh, you mean I have?
Just in general on
I don't have anything to add.
okay. Shall we move to increase awareness? Explore targeted outreach to seniors, youth, and our general public. I have one item that I'm working on that I'm going to ask that we agendize in next meeting, our next regular meeting. And what it is I am working with a youth, a guy by the name of Gustav Herne, to figure out how to get the rights to put together and publish the history of the Los Altos Library. So I've sort of brought him into the work plan and trying to get him involved in it. So hopefully he'll be presenting. We've actually done a bunch of work to date on it, but the first thing we need to do is get approval from San Jose State. So we're drafting a letter that should go out next week to San Jose State to get approval to reprint her work, since it was published under San Jose State's banner.
How did you recruit this youth?
He was working donations at Friends of the Library. So, and I actually was trying to get anybody down. And he stepped up, so he's at LAHS. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to sort of give him some of my knowledge around the publishing process and things of that nature. And also the history of the library is going to be interesting. So, and we'll have a good work product, I think, at the end of it. But there'll be more on that when we agendize it. I just wanted to update it or mention it under this goal. Improving the commission's presence. Photos.
So I do have my camera here today, but
There's
I
only 3 minutes.
recognize if you don't want to take a picture today individually, then we can do it on the 22nd. We have a pretty quick turnaround for the special meeting, so I'm happy to do it then if you'd like, and that'll actually be in the library, so that might be a nice chance to take a picture in the library.
So Carol will be here.
Yes.
Oh, good.
So I'll take individual pictures and then a commission picture as well.
So why don't we plan on doing that next meeting,
Okay, sounds good.
We-
You mean the special meeting or?
the special meeting?
Okay.
We won't agendize it because otherwise we'd have to
Mhm.
shuffle around, but we'll do it before it happens.
Okay.
So, okay with everybody? Yeah.
Mhm.
And of course, the Gabe video.
I'm not sure if
Pictures.
you've all seen the video about Chip Bedard, Danny made a video talking about the library improvements.
Okay. Yeah.
And the 1965 vibe that we have going in our library.
Great.
I
I think also like, the fact that we did like the library, I think, was it last meeting that we did with the public? That was, I think, great awareness for us. Because we've had some public, right, in that forum,
Mhm.
so,
And the 22nd will be publicized as well. at
okay,
the same
so I think that's also a very good presence, yeah. And then another thing is, you and I, like Anthony and I kind of exchanged emails on how in the website, the Library Commission website, right, the information in there is very outdated. So, you know, if you can you said that you're gonna work on updating, right?
I did do all those.
Oh,
updates.
okay, great,
So I
perfect.
did it on our website.
Amazing, so I think that's great, and it's great for like, also right before recruitment too, because if everything's updated, it's a great presence, right? Because once I think the position gets advertised, people might start going in,
We can know what we're doing.
yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the community event at the library, you know, I want to mention this. I saw somebody do this. Chicago, because I'm still tied to Chris Brown. And Chicago had a huge night at the library. I should forward that to you guys.
Yeah, I heard something about some.
Yeah,
it's
some
on the
did.
radio actually, yeah, yeah.
And I did put a little bit of money in our city budget to replace the event, so when we're gonna have it, we'll have.
When
some.
we get this for the big event, not just the piggybacking on Jenkins library stuff, the event, I assume.
For the night at the library, yeah, I put aside some money, or I put some money for putting the proposed budget for next fiscal year.
How are things going at the history museum? Things stabilizing there.
They have an executive director on board, who's been doing a good job. And so I've been hearing good things, so I think once the work in the children's area is done, then it sounds like that might be a good time. And it'll be in the budget hopefully for next year, so.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good timing too.
So should we reconvene, meet up in the fall or too soon?
Falls when the children's play space is
Starts
starting.
in Friday, yeah, so perhaps the end of the year more, to talk about,
Yeah,
to start
yeah.
planning.
Sure.
Mhm.
Cool. Should I move on? Can we move on?
Mhm.
To the last one, enhanced pet partnerships. I think we all continue to be at meetings. And I'm doing friends.
Or president,
Yeah, that, the NCLA. Though I think somebody should have to be there. I can't do both at the same time.
So Julie, Commissioner Crane was I think the NCLA is.
Yes.
So we could agendize for the next meeting to appoint someone as the liaison for NCLA if you'd like.
If it's okay, I think it'd be good for another commissioner to get a feel for what the NCLA is about. That's why I would do it.
You mean after we get a new person?
Well, Carol.
Yeah, Carol,
Myself.
Oh, okay.
I think Chair Bernard was implying New York Commission.
yes.
Yeah, newer commissioner, like me or, okay.
Or,
Oh, I thought what you meant was like after we hire.
no, I mean, if you
Really?
want, it's more, no,
And if you'd like to, at the end of the meeting, agendize it as a future,
we'll agendize it.
and you can either call it specific or you can leave it to discussion. So it's up to you.
Okay,
So the only thing I will say, I regret not being able to attend the Lolly event, but I hear everybody went. It was very good.
That was very good, yes, she was amazing.
you mean
April 1st, I think it
Yes.
was. Yes.
this one.
Speaking
Okay.
of volumes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. I mean,
Yes, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed that event.
He also spent quite a bit of time talking with our commission group, right? And then we want the book signed. She wrote like this much, took the trouble to read your name and I wasn't expecting that.
Yes. And messaging was very personalized as well. And her story was very compelling.
Yes,
It was very
yes.
engaging.
Yes,
I thought that was a really great event.
yes. The questions were interesting too.
And it was a very good event for them to get their kind of like, what do you call it? Also the presence of their, organization as well.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do something like that too. Organize like event like that. So I thought it was great because you weren't inviting it as a library event. It's like, it's an event, but then you can also talk about the presence. So like author might be a really interesting thing for us to do too. Like an author, we invite like an author or something,
Yeah,
like what they did.
there's the authors need to be paid for. How much of a
Yeah,
budget we need to
that's
do
true.
There's that issue.
Do we have any budget for that? Question mark, but
We can coordinate offline.
I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's appropriate for Wally. I mean, I'm just speaking
Yes.
for myself, right? It's just appropriate for them to do it, given that they have the money and experience in hosting these things.
We have the donors that need to appreciate.
I also think now that the library could be more of a social
event.
gathering type of
yeah.
event rather than a sit down listen type of event. I'm sure what Rose is imagining, but I imagine it's more of a, let's try and bring people who don't normally come to the
And
library
socialize.
to come and see all the awesome.
Cool, well, that's our work plan, and I like having it that way because we can just go through each thing and see what we've been up to. Item 3 then, are everybody okay on the work plan? I mean, in as much as we are, is any other comments?
I think,
So we move to 3, which is receive an update on the main library renovation process from staff.
I don't have a presentation. You have the report that was provided in the packet. I'll just give you the high level overview, which is the community engagement sessions went really well. The first 3 that we held at the library, one of which was a commission meeting. We realized that the secret was donuts, I think, for a nice Saturday morning treat to get people to come into the room. We are planning to do the next 3 engagements on May 22nd with the Library Commission. And then we'll do 2 workshops on May 24th, which is a Saturday from 10 to 12. And then May 28th, which is a Wednesday from 3 to 5. The same times that we did with the first workshops. However, this time we're not going to be in the orchard room. We're actually going to be in the open space of the library trying to get feedback. So the consultant will actually kind of be in the way of, hopefully not too much for Rose's liking, but in a good way. I think it'll bring the conversation out so people will, who maybe didn't know something was happening, they'll just walk past and engage with folks a little bit more, which would be good. But they will be presenting 2 design options, and they're not going to be fully flushed out. They're still preliminary design options. They're going to give some rough cost levels of what it could cost, not too specific. I did tell them, please don't ask too much specifics around cost because they're gonna do that in the next step, but I'll have a general idea. And then we've been meeting the technical advisory committee on this project with the consultants to brainstorm, and then I actually met with them earlier this week, and they showed me some rough ideas of what they're proposing. And I think it's really exciting what they've got in store and the concepts that they have. And then we're gonna be meeting the technical advisory committee with them in 2 weeks. Once they've had the final design drawings put together, we'll give some preliminary feedback on what we see working and not working from the city library side. And then it'll obviously be presented to you all for comment.
So there's room for feedback with the options that they present.
Absolutely. So there's no problem with, mixing and matching, saying I like this here, I like that there. These are just concepts that are being presented for the commission, obviously based upon the priorities that were done in the needs assessments and then the feedback we've heard from the community. So, and then obviously the needs of the library is the biggest part as well.
I should have asked, does the public have any questions? No? Okay. Any questions?
The only other thing I
Sure.
do want to say is I did promise the consultants, I was gonna say this at the May 20, I know the first time they came, we didn't really have anything for you guys to comment on. But on the May 22nd, they are gonna have the drawings. And so please come ready with all of your thoughts, questions,
Mhm.
concerns, anything you have. That's the best time for you guys to give feedback as representatives of the library community. So it's gonna be good, and I'm planning, even though it is a special meeting, to try and post at least 2 to 3 days in advance. So you guys have the drawings in advance and can take a look at them and think
Oh,
about it.
that's really great.
So,
The faster you can get the drawings out, because really that's the bottom line for both us and the public. The better, because what I was gonna ask is, when we come into the meeting, we should not only represent ourselves, but if there are other comments from like the friends, I mean, they'll comment and Lolly will comment, but if we have, representing their thoughts on it, if there's anything that we can accentuate, this is where we should do it.
and there
If
will
that
be,
makes sense.
and I will be sending out the flyer and information to department organizations like we did for the first round. So I'm just finalizing the dates with the consultants to make sure they're okay with this schedule, which I think they are.
Questions, anybody?
Looking forward to hearing that.
It's pretty exciting
Yeah, it's very exciting.
to see progress.
And imagery will help me kind of see. It's much easier to understand it visually.
And just so you guys know, they played with a bunch of different options, so they've worked out all the possibilities and really distilling the best and top 2
Mhm.
options for you guys.
Good. So shall we move on? Informational items. 4, receive Los Altos Library Endowment Distribution Letter.
The only comment I have here is from Freddie. The letter to the JPA from Lali's treasurer, Suresh Shanmugam. Dated January 19th, 2025, reporting the distribution of funds in 2024 was accepted by the JPA on their consent calendar at their meeting held on April 24th, 2025.
Yeah, the only thing I was confused is when I got sent the letter, and I should have gotten back to Freddie and Suresh, but I didn't know whether they wanted it posted or, I mean, it should have gone to Anthony, or I don't know, I should have asked. But, yeah,
It's just an informational item, there's no discussion necessary.
Okay.
but that's good.
Public comment, Yeah.
Hmm,
just check for public comment.
is there public comment? All right, so with that, I'm sure shall we move to staff reports? Are we okay with that? So item 5, receive report from Santa Clara County Library District. Do we ask for comment at this time? public comment?
On the staff reports, you can ask him.
Any public comment?
Thanks for checking it, no.
Thank you. Thank you, Bruce. Or are you speak, oh, Steve?
That's me first. You'll see the Asian American, Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month is in May. We have lots of materials and programs, all throughout the county. We hope you will check out. It is also Mental Health Awareness Month, and I see, there are a couple events here at Los Altos on May 14th and May 6th, I believe. So there's an author visit and also a mindfulness presentation respectively on those dates. So I hope you'll be able to take advantage of those. Additionally, we do have some online resources such as Headspace, which is an app to help you with your mindfulness. So if you haven't looked at that yet, I strongly encourage you to do so. The theme for summer reading, believe it or not, we're here. Summer reading opened up just today, so you can register early with the intention of reading at least 5 books. Audiobooks count between June 1st and July 31st. This year, the theme is Level Up at Your Library. So we hope you'll encourage all of your friends and family to sign up for one of the biggest programs of our event calendar. Next up, we opened up another Storybook SCCLD play space last weekend. So we opened up Trusty Trails in Morgan Hill. We had a great turnout. Lots of kids having a great time on the play space. If you haven't been to the one at Saratoga or Morgan Hill yet, that's okay. I encourage you to do so whenever you can. And then we have another one coming on May 17th. We will have Gilroy opening up with the Earthen Excursion. I always have a hard time saying that one, but that is scheduled to open up on May 17th. We have our monthly virtual author talks posted there. Also, it will be Memorial Day on May 28th, so the library may be closed, but we wanted to highlight lots of resources that are available to veterans. You see there's a couple of digital resources there on the bottom links to help them with careers, with resources that are available to them. So please reach out to any veterans that you know if they are looking for assistance. And it's also Mother's Day on May 11th, so lots of fun stuff coming up there too. And with that, I will take any questions that you have.
Just out of curiosity, when the library is closed, can you still return books?
Oh yeah, absolutely. All of our external returns are open, and here at Los Altos, you've been lucky enough to have a Dropbox, so things you can always use that. And of course, the online library is always available.
Yes.
So I had a question. I don't know that I want to ask it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What's changed with the online library? Have there been changes? Because I've noticed changes.
Changes in terms of
Availability of Kindle books,
availability of Kindle books.
availability of new issue books. I just, and it maybe if you know, great, but it's a question that's in my mind.
So we still have the same ratios where if we have a certain number of holds, we buy more copies of those materials. So that hasn't changed. So if there is anything specific that you want to bring to my attention, I'd be more than happy to
Okay,
do that. But
I'll
there's
look
nothing
at stuff.
general that I can.
No, I see more of a trend towards Hoopla,
Mm.
towards a cheaper online
Mm.
than going Kindle, that's all, on a lot of the books. Any other questions or? Rose?
So, I'll start off with a county corporate presentation. Visual for the staff. First, I'll start off with, as you notice, our group construction has started. So I want to thank, I know it's affected all of you, and I want to thank Anthony and the city for, it's kind of a team effort to make it work. And, I think they're moving pretty quickly in making progress, and we're hoping for a nice new roof pretty soon. But sorry for any disruption. I know it's a little bit noisy in the library.
Nobody can complain about the noise from the corner, man.
Oh, yeah, but they were above, yeah, that's true. That's a good thing. So for March, this is looking at, our March statistics. We had 62 programs with almost 2,500 attendees. Looking at visitors, we had a 12.5 increase from February 2025. and a 16.2% increase at Woodland from February 2025. These are some pictures of the egg hunt, the one right here at the soccer field. So we're always really happy to be able to participate with that city sponsored event, and the Go-Go Bigly is always there. This is a picture from our TK First Parade book club. So the kids are enjoying that program as well. And this was the family fun day. We got to make paper flowers. This program is pretty cool. This is a healing art workshop that was very well attended, and they're gonna have another program in June. This one is the April program. So those are photos from the program. Coming up on Saturday, we have our community play date. It's we're gonna have little heroes there. It's gonna be on the soccer field again, so thank the city for letting us use the soccer field for that. And it's from 10 to 1. It's a kind of a drop-in event, but we're hoping to encourage families to visit the library and participate in this fun event. We also on May 5th have our Jewish American Heritage Month program as well. And May 17th, we have Miss Molly Bubbles. I know this was after I talked to you, before I talked to you. And
I know the amazing Bubble Man, and she brings Miss Molly.
well, she was already booked. We
I
booked
know.
6 months in advance.
I'm-
Financial literacy program as well, coming up. And I already talked about the roof. These are just kind of some highlights of some of more of our programs. We have many more online on our website as well. So these are there's adults and children's, and that's all I have. If anyone has questions for me.
Any questions?
Is this the,
Oh.
that's okay.
No, go ahead.
I just have a public comment. The men who are working on the roof, they are so polite and just, they're always aware of their surroundings and they stop what they're doing. They pick up their trash all the time. So yeah, out externally, they're doing a great job.
Good. That's fine. That's good to hear.
Much better behaved than plumbers, but they are. Actually, that's true. I had a comment from somebody who asked about masks, but for them, those poor men, they're not wearing a mask. Well, I got a couple. But, question, Michelle?
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say for the bubbles, is it interactive? Like, do people get to play with the bubbles, or is it just more like a show?
So it's a mix. So the performer will usually do like some fun stuff, and then they'll kind of ask for the audience, and sometimes they'll put the kids inside of a bubble.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so like bubble or okay.
They said,
So it's fun, yeah. The kids, all kids love bubbles. I don't think I've ever met a kid that doesn't love
Yeah.
bubbles.
I had a couple of questions on, first on the numbers, on why. Are you guys seeing trends, or why would you get more people?
I think we're just, there's the program, depends on the programs we have. Sometimes we do see dips, and that is either because people are traveling or lifestyles, or even if sometimes we're closed or less days of the month. So, it's really, I attribute it to, the programs that we have and people coming in to.
But you don't
utilize
see a
more.
general, increase in numbers that sticks?
Like a trend over
Yeah.
like a year or over a time period. There is, I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, there is a trend. And seeming.
Yeah, are you talking specifically about programming or
It's
visitation?
just visitation.
Visitation has been steadily increasing, so we have seen, ever since COVID, the trends are all up. We actually dipped a little bit in March as compared to, last March, which was the first time that's happened. But I saw April was shot right back up again, so who knows what that little blip was. But generally speaking, we've seen consistent incline, just not quite as fast as we would like to see.
The reason I bring this up is as we go forward with the remodel, increase in services and keeping services up is a huge thing. And, you know, an increase in population is certainly rationale for expenditures to make sure that we can do that. That's all. So as you look at the population numbers are real interesting that way.
Yeah, with affordable housing projects and things like that, our population's gonna increase, right? So. Yeah. Are we seeing more visitors than prior to COVID or about the same? We're just going.
Still a little bit under.
A little bit, yeah.
Any other questions? Rose? Steve? No?
Mhm.
So then we'll move to commissioner reports. Michelle, if you want to start. or-
I think I already spoke, during that work updates.
I have a brief report on Lally, which also we've already touched upon briefly. That the Speaking Volumes event, April 1st, featured Alka Joshi as a capacity audience. Alka's a very engaging speaker and took time to speak to each of her fans during the reception prior to the event and after her talk. As I've said, she actually put a lot of effort into signing the books. The Town Crier, April 9th, featured a half-page article in the community section about Alpha's journey to success. And I very much enjoyed reading the book. I don't know if you got through it yet. I'm about to start the second book in the trilogy.
Cool. Well, for me, I mean, the Friends are having a sale this weekend. I guess the public work that was working prior as I was hauling stuff over from the sheds to here.
I like my new name.
Hmm?
I like my new name, the public.
The public,
Yeah.
you are the public. My biggest report is really, so, you know, the Friends are going through, there's been some issues with, the ongoing sales, of course, as Rose, you're well aware of, you've been in the middle of that. That continues to be an issue, but I think that people want to find a solution. And as we move forward, we'll get a good solution to that. I'm not, you know, this is a rough edge that needs to be dealt with. From the NCLA side, we did not meet since our last meeting, I think, but our next NCLA meeting is slated for May 12th. And what we're going to, I'll speak as the president for a minute. What I'm trying to do in there is essentially pass what needs to be passed, pay the bills that need to be paid, and keep on track. Set the budget up so that we can have a successful year, et cetera. So that's really what I'm looking to do. And again, I think it's important as commissioners that we come on the 22nd ready to, and the earliest you can get the report out, and and by the public, I mean Lolly and Friends, you know, get it into their hands because I know they have comments.
So we're meeting with the consultant the Friday before the calculus to give any last preliminary feedback before that meeting. So they're gonna turn it around that weekend and hopefully get it to me by Monday.
Okay.
So hopefully, like I said, special meeting, so we only need 24-hour notice, but I'm gonna try and get it
Yeah.
out by Tuesday for you guys.
Any chance that they can also provide the current floor map as is, so that we can compare it together? Because it's hard to understand everything.
They're gonna have a nice PowerPoint that'll walk you through
Okay,
everything. So,
I just want to make sure that when we go to the city council, that I can say absolutely that the public was engaged. I mean, that's important, because I'll tell you, that's the one area I know with this city council, if we don't do our due diligence and get the people into the meetings and review meetings, it will be an issue.
I feel comfortable saying I've been your liaison for a year and a half, and we had 40+ people show up to a commission meeting, which most of our commissions don't have that kind of attendance, so we've gotten the word out pretty well, and we'll continue to do that.
Of course not. We're the library commission. We know how to do things.
And also you said that, everything is within the budget, everything, like the option, they're gonna have options with different budget points, right? Just wanna make sure that are within the budget.
They, as of now, like I said, they're gonna present the rough cost for the
Mhm.
two options. I've told them that we won't hold them to these numbers because they still need to go back,
Mhm,
and then it's gonna come back to you again.
mhm.
So the budget right now shouldn't be the highest concern. I want them to
Okay.
present it to you, but the highest concern should be
The design,
the design.
okay,
And then they're gonna go back and actually fine tune those numbers a little bit.
okay. I just don't want them to come to us with like unrealistic design with unrealistic cost. So that's the only thing. As long as,
They know the parameters.
Okay. okay, great.
How are you guys feeling about this? Are you involved?
Yeah, we're both in the tech, so we're meeting regularly with Anthony and partners.
So you guys, you have already provided some of your feedback and that.
Always plus.
Yeah, so that has been already,
They've been excellent
flushed.
about doing that with, general library staff, with us, with public, so I think they've been doing a really good job.
Cool.
So we've been working with the county very closely. It's not like we're working on a secret presentation that will show them, partners and.
okay,
No, I mean, for me, this is exciting because we're pushing the concept of doing something, not pushing the concept of doing these specific things. Right? I mean, I'm not wedded to anything. I'm wedded into improvements. As long as it's an improvement, it's a good thing.
mhm.
That's my feeling.
Well, that changes on the 22nd.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
maybe. All right.
Oh, so
Well,
it starts at 6, it's earlier than usual.
6:30. It should be,
Oh, it's 6:30, okay,
yeah, it should be our normal.
is it at 6:30?
Mhm.
okay, 6 o'clock on my phone, so I'll put 6:30,
I try and reserve your guys' time
okay.
more, so you don't. I prefer if you guys show up early, especially if there's gonna be more people.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so any other questions on the commissioner reports?
I have a question on that now, since the courtyard, is there any update on the courtyard? Since the appeals were voted down, is there a date for starting construction or anything?
Not that I'm aware of, but we do have a Lolly meeting this upcoming Tuesday.
Oh, okay, good.
Also, I'm just curious also about like parking, how parking is going around the library, any updates there?
I think right now is a tough time to say because we're doing the roofing, the county is doing the roofing project and we've
Okay.
coordinated the closure of a few stalls. Driving over right now, I saw large sections of parking that was available along in front of what's the mulch pile, I like to call it. And then right in front of the, stage company, the bus barn theater. So I think the parking, I mean, it becomes a little bit of an issue when we close the egress between PD and Lacey as part of that project. We kind of shut that down a few days for concrete pours, but aside from that, people are finding parking open. And I would encourage you to also tell people the visitor parking in front of City Hall. There's 6 or 7 stalls that are visitor parking that visitors to the library use as well. So you can park there and just walk past the orchard.
I think more people doing that.
So feel free to continue to tell people they can use that space as well.
Yeah, I have mixed opinions on the parking. There's sometimes it's wide open and sometimes it's impossible.
Well, there are times when the way down into the community center. but
Yeah, it's like,
Okay, for some of
what do
us
you-
to do that.
I would say, if you have to park far away, you know it's a good park. So
Yes, that's exactly it. It's a
that means a lot of people are using the community center, using the library, using the history museum, which is, we want this to be a community space. So
we don't need the opposite problem of having plenty of parking.
that would be worrisome, yes.
Good. Anything else on the reports? Any other, you'll be at the Lolly thing? So I'm right, but my stomach must be time to eat. So with that, potential future agenda items. I know we have agenda items specified. I mean, our next meeting is scheduled now for August, I believe.
So the 22nd meeting we're reserving just for, the feedback on the
Mhm.
improvements, we're not gonna be doing any agenda items at that one. But August 7th, we have commission presence, and then we'll also be coming back for the final round of feedback, really from the commission on the improvements to the library.
Mhm.
And that can be to the public, but we're not doing workshops again. That will just be you guys giving final feedback on the design options.
Then we, so August 7th, and, you know, if we need a meeting prior, we'll call one. But I think we're okay.
Yeah. And then the photo you said is happening May 26th, 22nd,
22nd.
Yes,
on that day, okay.
I have my camera now. Like I said, it's up to you guys.
Well, Carol's not here.
I know.
Yeah,
I'll bring it on the 22nd.
I think it's better for all of us to be here. And then August 7th, agenda item, so we talked about how we need to talk about NCLA, right? Who's gonna be coming in from
Yes.
NCLA.
So I'll second that as an agenda item. Do I need to second it, or how does that work? We need two people, or,
Would you like it to come back as a discussion, or do you wanna appoint someone and put it on consent?
I want to appoint someone, or, oh, no, I want a discussion.
It's fine.
I mean, if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah,
That's-
discussion's fine. And then the headphone sensory project, like any updates, do you wanna include fidgets, blah, 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 yeah. Headphone, sensory, headphones slash sensory accommodation, yeah, that's fine. Or, I mean, we don't have to talk about it if we're not ready. either,
Well,
but
it's
then-
fine, we can meet
Okay.
probably before.
Okay.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Just want to check with those.
Yes, no pressure, I think, yeah. And then which subcommittee is still open? Is everything closed or?
Currently have one ad hoc subcommittee for
Nice.
Southern Medical.
Oh, that's not none of the library, that's
So
right.
this is
none of the
the
library.
wrong hole.
But they,
No, that's on hold, and so that we need to revisit that after we have the children's library, right? So that's gonna be, what's the next one after August, it's October? Or-
September and then
Oh,
October.
September, so we need to talk about it. In September, October? Yeah. I don't know.
August,
Do you wanna-
September, November, huh?
Do you want to discuss, oh, sorry, I was gonna say, do you want to discuss web presence as part of that? What you were,
Oh, web presence, I think Anthony said that he already updated,
yeah, okay.
so I just have to double check.
I'll tell you that your August meeting, you're gonna discuss NCLA liaison, sensory headsets.
Yes.
Main library improvements.
Marion Able,
and then
the
we'll
Marion
discuss
Able
the-
project, the
History.
history of Los Altos
Oh.
Library.
That's right.
So what we'll do on that, it'll be, I'll be with Gustav and we'll do a presentation. You'll do a PowerPoint about the project.
When do we have to make the final call on the designs?
Ideally, August 7th would be great. That would be when they are gonna present two final design options, final cost estimates, and then you would ideally have some feedback on which one you prefer, and then it would continue to move forward and probably go to council for final direction, and then go to NCLA for funding to continue. The big part of this is they're all preliminary designs. And then they're gonna go actually do the 65% and then 100% drawings. So there's the potential that they need to shift certain things depending on what they discover down the road.
So 522 is the real like feedback moment where we can really make any difference, basically. And 87 is just kind of confirming our changes.
8-7 will be, they come back with two different final designs for you to say, I like this one, I would prefer this one over this one. Or if you want, you can always make changes at that point, but hopefully we've distilled it to really two distinct options at that point.
And minimal changes, so that makes sense.
I'm assuming that on the 7th, what we approve is what's gonna be going to the council. Right?
That would be the goal.
That's the goal.
If on August 7th you feel comfortable to recommending one option, then we would continue moving forward.
So one thing about bringing it to council, from my experience of bringing projects to council, it can easily change. I mean, it can change on the dais, it can change in the room, if somebody wants to change it, they're the council, it's, you know, they can vote on it, so while we're wedded on what's presented, you never know. I mean, anything can happen.
And I plan to be there, obviously, and the consultant will be there as well, so we can provide context for why certain things are the way that they are.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'll use Rose's expertise as much as I can to beforehand say, we've talked with the county library, and this is why certain things are in certain places.
Oh, you guys will be there. This will be yet another meeting you guys have to be at.
I don't want to force them to go to any
It's a
meetings.
good meeting.
It's a good meeting. The city councils are usually pretty good.
I'm concerned that maybe August 7th, we have too much an agenda, because I mean, we don't know what we'll be reviewing on that day, right? Like, hopefully it's a quick thing, but I feel like we need to thoroughly review and make sure everything is good. Don't you think? Like, I wanna make sure we have enough time to really make sure everything is good.
We need to have our regular business. And August 7th is our regular meeting.
Mhm.
If we need to do, you know, a special meeting to make sure that we just review the plans, we'll do it. It's not a big deal.
Okay, we can just see if we can fit everything in. It might be fine.
Well,
Well,
you
I
saw,
don't know how much feedback we're gonna have in late 27th.
well, you saw what happened when we met, what date was it? In, you know, the other meeting. We had a bunch of stuff on the agenda that just sort of disappeared. Or that moved. So, I mean, I'll make sure it's flexible. And Anthony will too.
We'll meet and make sure that if it is too much, we'll adjust accordingly.
Yeah, but there's no issue. I mean, if you don't have an issue, I don't have an issue with doing another meeting. We're only meeting 5 times a year anyway, officially, right?
Six.
Oh, sorry, 6.
We'll take a while.
That's fine.
I think right now it's fine, and we can always have things on the agenda, and if it sets or something, it's moved to the first September meeting or a special meeting.
I think that's why I'm, like Head said, is not a rush, so like it could move, so we can prioritize it, is what I'm trying to kind of suggest as well. Maybe we should just move it now and just move it to the next, if
Are you
that's
okay?
okay, cause I feel like,
I would rather, I say keep it,
okay,
August, see what we do. And, you know, if we need to move it, we move it.
okay, sounds
I
good.
mean,
Yeah,
that's,
it's
I
just
do the
not
same,
urgent.
I do the same thing with the Marion Eagle thing.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we just leave it, and yeah, I'm happy to like just not cover it that day. We don't
The
have
only
time.
problem you get into when you're sharing, or, you know, when you're worried about the agenda is not having it there.
Yes,
Because if you
Sure.
don't have it as a future agenda item, then you have to legally wait until this meeting to, anyway.
makes sense, yeah.
So it's like, it's better, overkill's not that bad,
Mhm.
in this regard.
And another question I have is like, did we receive any more emails or feedback about the library design or anything? Or any,
We received, I believe, 4 or 5.
okay,
All of those I forwarded to the
Okay,
consultant. So
okay.
the consultants received all feedback that I've received and that came into the library.
Okay.
But did you attend any of the other sessions?
I didn't.
So what they did yellow stickies.
Mhm,
So there's a bunch of feedback. They had poster boards for each
mhm,
option and people wrote their feedback on it.
Great,
It was actually pretty cool because the biggest issue they have is demographics.
mhm,
In other words, you know, you can't just get the Friends of the Library or, you know, a group saying what they want. It's gotta be a more general demographic, and kids
yes,
are huge. And
Yeah.
I think what, ABA was grabbing them out of the children's library to bring them in to try to get good feedback.
Donuts helped.
yeah,
Hmm?
Donuts helped.
Good.
The kids heard there were donuts.
Oh, that's just not, you know, they were more than donuts. They were Stan's donuts.
Oh.
We were like the best donuts in the valley.
We'll bring them to the Saturday session for the second round.
Can we have them for our special committee meeting?
Yeah, why don't we have them? We've got that in the budget.
so
Cause you guys are attraction enough. We saw that people came without.
So we got some more feedback from the family, or the kids side, which is great, because I know our last meeting, we didn't really have the presence from the families or the kids side, so.
And I would encourage all of you to lean on, you are the representatives for the library, so feel free to lean on your own experiences, your own
Yes,
thinking of what are groups that are within the library that maybe don't have as loud voices, and so how can I make sure that they're heard in this process? So that's your role as well, so on the 22nd, feel free to speak on that behalf as well.
yes, I try to, because I do have little kids too, so I try to kind of think about the little kids, you know, and kids that come in, so. Yes, sounds great, thank you. I'm excited, I'm really excited to see the designs. I think it's one of the big projects that,
Yes, so are there any other potential future agenda items? Any last comments before I adjourn? Anybody? Bueller? All right, anyway, I adjourn this meeting.
Mhm.
So